Have you ever heard of verses in the Quran that talk about rolling and punishment that might seem harsh or mysterious to you? But what if I told you that behind each of these rollings there is a deep wisdom and a noble goal that ensures justice and mercy? In this episode, we will dive together into the depths of 5 pivotal verses dealing with theft, adultery, retribution or Qisas, even what is said about punishment inside the home. In addition to women's rights in divorce, we will not stop at the surface, but we will reveal to you the hidden meanings that might completely change your understanding. So are you ready to challenge your preconceived idea and open the door to a new understanding of a true Islam? Follow us to learn how the Quran balances mercy and justice in a way that might astonish you. Limits on theft. The male thief and the female thief cut off their hands as a recompense for what they committed, as a deterrent from Allah. These words may shock you at first glance. The punishment of cutting off the hands seems very harsh, doesn't it? But the truth that many do not know is that the implementation of this ruling in Islam is conditional upon a set of strict rulings and conditions that make its execution very rare. Did you know that there are limits to theft that the crime must exceed, and that the stolen item must be kept in a clear manner, and that proving the crime only happens with precise evidence, such as trustworthy witnesses or confession? Islam does not allow injustice, nor does it permit imposing punishments without achieving justice with the highest degree of precision. Yet, when you hear the punishment of cutting off the hand, many people imagine that applying it means scenes of severed hands in the streets, as if every stolen hand is cut. But the reality is completely different. For in countries that apply Islamic Sharia with wisdom and justice, you don't see the spread of this scene. Rather, security and safety prevail. But why? Because this punishment is not a tool for random violence, but a strong deterrent that prevents crime before they happen and frightens those who think about violating the rights of others. This is the secret of the success of this smart system. It precisely balances between deterring crime and human mercy, so it's only implemented after all conditions are fulfilled with great precision and extreme caution, so that justice is present and protects everyone's rights. Therefore, cutting off the hand is not meant to terrorize people, but it's a real guarantee for their rights and safety. Punishment for adultery and its proof conditions. The adulterer and the adulteress, flog each one of them with 100 lashes. When you hear the punishment of flogging for adultery, you might wonder, how can this act be proven? And is an accusation enough? The Quran in this verse specifies a clear punishment, but it's only applied with a very strict conditions whose goal is to protect society while preserving human dignity and preventing injustice. First, no one can accuse another for adultery and receive the punishment without the presence of undisputable evidence. Islam requires 4 trustworthy witnesses who witnessed the act directly and clearly. And this is a difficult condition to fulfill because the act itself is usually secret and hidden. Second, there is the possibility of the accused confessing themselves, but this is also done under special circumstances, not in any random way. These conditions make applying the punishment very rare, sometimes almost impossible. And this shows Islam's care to avoid injustice or defaming people without strong evidence. The goal of the punishment here is to deter adultery and reform the individual and society, as adultery threatens family stability and destroys social values. But Islam always opens the door of repentance and mercy for everyone who repents and returns to Allah. For retribution with mercy is the basis of this system. Do you now understand how the Quran combines achieving justice and preserving human dignity even in the harshest rulings? Punishment for killing and retribution. And do not kill the soul which Allah has forbidden except by right. Killing is a major crime, and the Quran here emphasizes the sanctity of a human life. So no one is allowed to kill any human except by a just ruling and through a precise legal system. This verse lays the foundation for the principle of Qisas or retribution, which is justice that balances the rights of the victim and the rights of society. And of course, personal revenge or random killing is not permitted. But Qisas is not always the only option. The verse itself opens the door to mercy and forgiveness, where the killer can be pardoned if the victim's family relinquishes their right, or if pardon is granted by the authorities. This reflects a wonderful balance between a strict justice and human mercy, because a human life is precious, and Qisas in Islam aims to restore the rights to their owners and not cause further harm. Have you ever imagined how the system of Qisas protects the society from Qisas and maintain its cohesion, while at the same time giving a chance for forgiveness and mercy, the correct understanding of domestic discipline, and strike them? This verse is often misunderstood and used to stir controversy about a sensitive topic, discipline within the family. But the truth is deeper and nobler than you imagine. Islam didn't command violence or harm, but set strict rules governing this matter, so it never exceeds the limit of respect and dignity. The striking here is not meant as painful punishment, but it's the last option after exhausting all means of dialogue, advice, and understanding between the spouses. Also, scholars and jurists emphasize that this striking must be symbolic, not painful, and not intended to insult or wound. The verse originally urges responsibility and care, and affirms the status of the wife and her right to good treatment. Did you know that Islam teaches the husband how to be merciful, patient, and wise in his marital relationship? Understanding this verse correctly reveals to you how Islam protects the dignity of the family and organizes relationship in a just and respectful manner. Women's rights in divorce, and take 2 witnesses from among your men. Divorce is a sensitive issue affecting many lives, and here the Quran sets clear rules to ensure the right of women and preserve their dignity in this difficult phase. In interpreting this verse, Allah Almighty commands the testimony of 2 just men as witnesses to the divorce proceeding, to ensure transparency and justice, and to prevent injustice or dispute that might harm one of the parties. This system confirms that divorce is not something done arbitrarily or without control, but it's right restricted by rules aiming to protect everyone, especially the woman who may be more vulnerable to injustice. The verse also urges giving the woman her full right in maintenance and waiting period, which is a delay period before the final divorce, granted to the woman to think and regain her psychological and social balance. The Quran here shows its keenness, that the process of divorce is conducted with justice and a human way, preserving the dignity of the woman and guaranteeing her rights, and not leaving her to face difficult circumstances without any protection. Have you ever thought about how these verses organize family relationships with wisdom and mercy, even in moments of separation. These verses we reviewed today clearly highlight how Islamic law balances mercy and justice, and how it protects everyone's right with utmost wisdom. Each ruling among these rulings carries within it a divine mercy and a noble purpose, combining the preservation of society and human dignity. If you liked this deep dive into the Quran, share your opinion with us in the comments. Which verse sparked your curiosity the most? And are there other topics you would like us to discuss together? And do not forget to hit the like if you found this video useful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to join our family to receive more videos that open the doors of deep understanding of Islam for you. Our journey with Quranic wisdom continues, and I am excited to share more with you in the next episodes. Stay safe and in Allah's protection.